Hey, good evening everybody. Sammy Thunder here. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight's video, I decided to look at three of my cards from my collection, and I was thinking about it at work today, and I wanted to do kind of a breakdown to see what these cards have done over, let's say a 5 year span. And I'm going to pick out on a yearly basis every year, hopefully, if I can find enough purchases, which I'm sure with these three cards, we should be able to find a number of purchases that were made in a 5 year time frame. But I picked up three cards that are commonly purchased, and I figured that, if we look at a chart over every single year when these cards were purchased and what they went for, we can get a really good idea to see kind of just how these cards have performed over a 5 year span. So the first card we're going to look at is the 1967 Tom Seaver. This one I picked up. I traded my lower Seaver for this one. I had a 3 and I upgraded to a 4.5. And so we're going to look at this one, see how 4.5s have done over a 5 year period. And if we can't find enough, then we might go 4 or 5 for some of the years in the event that I can't find enough sales. But I'm sure with a card like this, there's been a number of purchases. The second card we'll look at is a favorite card, which I will keep just because I bought this raw off of Jake from Legends Never Die. I spoke to him today, so I figured I'd show this card off. That is the Willie Mays Topps 1954. It's one of my favorite Mays because of how colorful this card is. Everything really about it, it's a great looking piece. Yellow, a little bit of blue in the hat, like a very deep navy blue, action shot, insignia, just everything about this card. 54 set is a great looking set. And finally, we're going to look at my 1959 Bob Gibson and this first year card. And so this one was graded a 5. This will be interesting to see how 5s have performed. I think a lot of people have said that this is like on the higher end of 5s and that I should probably resubmit this. So I might do that at the National this year and kind of see if they'll give me a higher grade on it. But that's for another day. But I figured we'll look at the Bob Gibson 5 and we'll break it down. So those are the three cards. And so I'm going to shift over to kind of a presentation style, and we'll take a look at that and see how things have gone, because it's kind of a mystery to me right now. And
All right, so like I mentioned in the video, I'm going to be doing a 5 year break period and showcasing three cards that I mentioned. First one we'll talk about is the 1967 Tom Seaver rookie card. It's a very popular one among collectors. It's a high number, so it kind of increases the value right then and there. And also, it's Tom Seaver, arguably the greatest Mets pitcher and one of the greatest pitchers of all time. So I'm going to start first with 2018. This card was selling for about $366 in Heritage. There were 8 bidders on this auction. I didn't have any sales in 2019, so I jumped ahead to 2020, and this one sold for 482 through eBay. This one had 43 bidders. Moving along, 2021, the card went for $800 or roughly 800. Looked like there was only one bidder on this one, so this one was with eBay. And jumping ahead to 2022, it kept going up, and we see this one was PWCC Weekly. So with 40 bidders, this one sold for $1,020. And then, interestingly enough, more recent, May 7th, 2023, it dropped back down to $870 with 21 bidders. Now, before I even kind of go even further on this, I figured I should make it clear that every card is different. So a 4.5 is not, there's not an exact science to defining what a 4.5 is. Some cards will have better centering. Some cards will have better corner, surface, you name it. Condition's going to change. Another factor is that, yes, there's going to be different auction houses that are going to attract different customers. So sometimes, depending on the year, depending on the time frame, sales might look different. So this was really kind of just more of a rough look at how the 5 year breakdown is broken down. So let me bring these out. And then what I was doing is I was going to bring a graph to kind of show how the graph looks between those roughly 5 years. And you can kind of see that the increase between 2018 and 2022, um, COVID hitting and everybody breaking their collections out, and cards kind of just took a huge boom period. And 2023, it's starting to dip a little bit, but it doesn't look as concerning, but we'll see how the rest of the cards break down. But nevertheless, an interesting dynamic to see the 5 or 6 year breakdown here with the Tom Seaver card. And I don't think it's any surprise that it's starting to dip a little bit because, just baseball season's over and the economy, and there's just a lot of different factors. I'm sure y'all will comment on it as well to kind of give your 2 cents on it, but there's just so many factors, and also the holidays season right now. But moving on. I'll also just mentioning between 2018 and 2023. If you look at the difference between what they're going for now versus what they were going for in 2018, it's a plus 81% differential. So it's kind of interesting to see that that percentage is still widely up. So the next one is the 1959 Bob Gibson. The one I have shown is a 5. That's the one that I own. And so the first one we'll look at is from 2023. It's the most recent sale in a couple days ago, really. Is went for $587 with 31 bidders off eBay. The year before that, nearly almost, a little less than double through Heritage. It sold for $1,020. And in 2021, through PWCC Monthly with 30 bidders, it sold for $775. And going back even further a year from 2020, the card sold for $321 roughly, 31 bidders on eBay. And then prior to COVID, the card was selling for about $432 on Heritage with 10 bidders there. And so if we break that down, the graph, very kind of similar to the Seaver, but interestingly, the sale that I showcased between 2019 and 2020 kind of dipped, and kind of the opposite of the response that we were seeing with COVID, where 2020 was kind of like the start of it all in terms of the heightened collection. But nevertheless, you see it kind of not spiral, but increase in a linear fashion between 2020 and 2021. 2022 is where it kind of really peaked, and this one kind of dropped off even further than the Tom Seaver did, and it's just an interesting way to see that. Gibson, another popular pitcher. A lot of people love this card because it's a single card of him, and it's also identifies as the rookie card. So it's kind of interesting to see that huge drop. But again, the factors contribute to why we're seeing a huge drop in cards right now. But I did the math here. The differential between 2019 and 2023, the two sales, was a 30% increase. So the Seaver has a much wider increase, but just interesting to see such a huge drop off over 1 year between close to about $1,000 to just over 500. So that's the Bob Gibson for you. Moving along, this one is a special card. I really like this one because it was sold to me, but from a friend, Jake from Legends Never Die. I bought it raw and I graded it, and I graded it 2.5. That is the Topps 1954 Willie Mays. And the breakdown shows this card sold for $360 recently through PWCC Weekly with 14 bids. Go back a year before that, it sold for $228 with 12 from Heritage. Year before that, we sold for again $228 with REA. Going a year before that, $145, but this one was a buy it now. Couldn't find any auctions that had any bidders, so this one was a buy it now for $145 with eBay. And then in 2018, going into 2019, it sold for about $100 on eBay as well with a buy it now. And if we look at the graph, this one was really interesting. This one did not really see any drop offs. There's I couldn't really tell you the factors why. I mean, I personally really like this baseball card because the way it looks and the style of it. And the 54 is just a favorite design. So maybe that's a shared sentiment between a lot of other collectors. But yeah, you see the 2018 to 2023. Um, it's incredible to see that it is grown significantly. And the real surprising factor is 2022 to 2023 is a huge increase, a huge linear rise, and that's surprising because again we think we're experiencing this huge drop off, but I guess this one kind of defies all of that right now. And so the 54 Mays, if you look at 2023 sale versus 2018, we're seeing 113% difference. So quite interesting to see that this Maze card has done quite well over the years, and I'm hoping it does even better over time. It'd be a nice feeling. I think I purchased this one roughly around 2021 for about that price. Excuse me. Jake will probably remember better. I think it was like 225 or 250 or something like that. And then I graded it. So I have no plans of moving this card. It's just something, it's a card I really enjoy and I really appreciate having. But let me know what you think in the comments. Again, there's a lot of other factors I didn't get into. We'd be kind of sitting on that for this presentation, so I didn't want to, dive too far into that. But I'll let y'all do it to talk about some of these radical rises and these differences in price, and it's just interesting to see this breakdown. So let me know what you think, and I hope to get some really good feedback from y'all. And again, got some more videos coming up in the future, and probably later this week. So I look forward to sharing some more stuff with you. But thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Take care.